Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Beardsly's Daily Dose, where me and my best friends give you our professionally unprofessional advice and toe the line between helpful and humor. Chances are, if you're here, you can relate to having a day's worth of stress and bullshit, so strap in and get ready to laugh as we give you the Daily Dose. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Beardsly's Daily Dose. We're so freaking excited to be here today.
Yes.
Yeah, as you can see, it is just the two of us. It's probably going to be like that for the foreseeable future. Christina has some stuff that's going on in her life that is taking her away from us. It's sad to see her not here, but she's still part of this podcast. She helped found it, and she will always be a part of this podcast. When she's ready to come back and be here, you know, she has a spot. It's nothing drastic, you know, it's nothing, there's no personal problems going on. It's just she's got stuff going on in her life, and, you know, we're going to support her and just handle the show while she takes care of whatever she's got to take care of.
That's right.
So, also a couple of show notes that we're going to throw out there is we're going to be changing things up a little bit in the podcast. We have been enjoying doing the topical talks on certain things, but we've also noticed that there's a lot of downer, just mood killer topics that we see that isn't necessarily fun to talk about, and we don't really like having to force out things that we want to talk about. And, you know, we want to stay kind of just open and have broad range of topics instead of just keeping it with like relationship stuff. And then that's a lot of the stuff we see on these subreddits that we're looking at. And so being able to just kind of expand our horizons, I guess you would say, with what we talk about is going to make it a little bit more fun for us, because that's why we do this. We're doing this for fun. We're not making money off of this. Right. We do this to hang out with each other, you know, weekly, and just talk about bullshit that we see that we want to, you know, we want to discuss and enjoy. And so finding things that isn't so mood killer has been a lot harder lately. Yeah. There's just a lot of relationship type topics, and I don't want to be a relationship type podcast. I want to be
There's so many
all
of those.
around. Yeah. Like I feel that we will talk about relationships throughout our endeavors. You know, we are both pretty relationship oriented men, and we are sensitive towards our female partners, towards our female friends. You know, those are things that we both relate with, but it's not something that we're, you know, it's not our whole lives. It's not our whole personalities. We can be assholes too. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. We could say multitudes.
Fuck that.
In fact, I like to keep a baseline of asshole, because then there's always something to rise above.
Yeah. Well, right? And then you don't have to. Then people aren't shocked when you're actually an asshole for once.
Yeah.
You know, when you're becoming an asshole, they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's just Jake. He's just going through some weird shit today. He's just being an asshole."
Yeah. And you know what? Then the love's not lost.
No, because, you know, in a few days he's not going to be an asshole anymore, and he'll be back off of his period, and we'll be living life again.
I change like the seasons, so you just never know what you're gonna get on any given
always
day.
Spring for me.
Yeah,
I'm always spring.
You're a happy guy.
I try.
I need to bring
unless
a little
I'm
bit
sick.
of winter. I need to bring a little bit of winter to the dynamic. It keeps things interesting, I think.
The winter is coming.
The winter is coming.
The winter is coming.
I'm coming.
Ah!
I'm here. I've arrived.
Yeah, just, you know, like clockwork, 3 seconds.
That's right. Oh,
no.
Just depends.
Depends on how long it's been.
Yeah. Yep.
Sometimes life gets busy and you just have to nut one out real quick, and 3 seconds is good.
Yeah, and sometimes it's you know, you got to you preface it with, look, I'm just letting you know right now, this ain't gonna last long.
Hey, honesty is the best thing when it comes to that.
Yeah. So if you need a little bit more, you gotta let me know beforehand, so I can, you know.
Yeah, so I can pace myself.
I'll move a little differently. I'll explore different facets of the situation. You know, we can get down and dirty, and you can just wait.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, and it's probably something that most of you don't care to hear, but I'm a very generous lover, and I make sure that my wife gets what she wants before I'm like, I let her know, yo, I'm getting close, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we got to figure this out. Like, if you want more, I got you, but I just have to do it differently.
Yep. Communication.
It's one of the best things in a relationship.
That's right. In all aspects.
Yep. So today we're going to do a couple of things differently. Like I said, we're not going to really have a lot of topical conversations per se. Like, I think a couple episodes back we did some would you rathers.
Yeah.
And we all liked those, and those were really fun. So we're going to do a couple of those today, and then I think we're going to talk about some video games today as well.
Yes.
Which we're both very passionate about. We both really love playing video games. So
Yeah, we do.
So let's get into the would you rathers. I'm going to look at my phone and do this today. I'm not going to be doing this from my computer because it's just too much clicking.
Yeah.
Too much clicking. So I found a would you rather in the would you rathers subreddit. And this is what's the hardest would you rather you've ever heard? And there's a couple of them in here, and we're going to go over, 5 or 6 of them and see, how difficult they are for us. The first one that I'm going to read is by the actual poster of the thread. And it's, would you rather have Dorito fingers or a runny nose for the rest of your life? What do you think, Jake? What do you think you would do?
So I don't know, because I love Cool Ranch Doritos. So when I get a bag at work, there's always one chip in there that's dusted. And I always save it for the end. And then I'll rub my fingers in the corners of the bags, and I'll pick up that chip, and I'll do a little bit of this and rub my fingers on it, and then I'll eat it, and and then, I'll suck the fingers off. That's great. Pause. It's great. But I think if I constantly had them, that feeling on your fingertips when they're coated with like chip dust, like you just got done, like putting your hand in flour after putting your hand in eggs, and it's like stuck, and it like I get a little
clumpy.
Yeah, I get a little autistic with that, and it kind of drives me crazy, the feeling of it. Like I feel like I'm very claustrophobic. Okay, I like to have space, and so when it's on my fingers, like I feel like my hands panicking.
They're suffocating.
Yeah, like, and I can't, like, even talking about it, I feel like I need to rip my skin off my fingers. Like, it gets to me. Like, I hate for like hours after, I'm constantly like clenching my knuckles. Like, I feel it right now. But I have a mustache, and I'm not in a position in my life where I'm willing to get rid of my facial hair. I love my beard. And so if it was constantly mucusy, 1, my wife's never going to want to kiss me. 2, I'm never going to be able to lick my lips or whatever. Like, it's always going to be wet and gross. And
you're always going to have that nice salty taste.
Yeah. And your lips are going to chap.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to chap, especially under your nose. It's going to chap for the rest of my life. I'd have to walk around with tissue stuck in my nose constantly. And that would also feel very claustrophobic.
Right.
That's a hard one.
I also have a mustache, and I just got done being sick, and every time I would sneeze, I had such massive nasal congestion. Like, I would sneeze, and it'd be like when a kid sneezes and the snot just goes flying out, and it's just like a long line of it down my fucking beard and in my mustache, and I hate it because it's not as it's viscous.
Yeah.
Snot is.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't just like wipe away like water would.
Right.
You just wipe away the water. It smears across your beard or your mustache, and you have to so the winter time sucks for me because I'm a very warm-blooded person. Like, I'm warm all the time. I can do shirts and shorts in the winter time here in Washington. But my nose starts running, and I can feel it just going into my mustache.
Yeah.
And it's just like a sponge for mucus. But in the same sense, my fingers I'm constantly doing stuff with. So like, it's like, I would touch, like, imagine our controllers or a keyboard and mouse being avid gamers. How gross. Like, I'm not ashamed to say, because I'm just like, it doesn't bother me. It's my own bodily touch. But like, my keyboard is fucking dusty as shit. My mouse is like, you can see where my hand rests on it. You can see which buttons I use the most on my keyboard. But it's my keyboard.
Right.
But you add that chip dust. I'm not like, I like Doritos, but like, my chip dust would probably be Cheetos or Fritos. You know, like that. And so you imagine like the Cheeto dust. The Cheeto dust is like just layering up on your fingers, like to the point where, like, I also will lick my fingers after chips. Some people don't do that. Some people cannot fucking take that.
It's weird. They're
like, God, it's gross. That's disgusting. Like, I've grown up just not worrying about germs. Like, I feel bad for people who are germaphobes.
Oh yeah.
Because I think that my immune system is stronger because I'm not so constantly worried about germs.
Yeah.
I'll fucking work on a car, eat chips, eat a sandwich, and then lick my fingers afterwards. Does it taste like car? Yeah, sometimes it does. Am I worried about that? No, I'm not.
Right.
People lived in Flint, Michigan with fucking lead in their fucking water for how long? And they got sick and things happened. But like, they probably are used to it. It's built their immune system up a lot more.
Right.
Because they did experience that.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be insensitive and compare Cheeto dust to my fingers to lead in their water, but I'm just saying, like, it makes your immune system stronger when you incorporate germs and viruses and stuff into your body, because it gives your body a chance to fight it off and build up immunities to it.
It's like going to the gym. You know, the more you go to the gym, the more weight you can carry. The more you tear your muscles, the stronger they grow back. It's the same thing with your internal system. And I was raised in the woods and in New Hampshire, and same thing. Like, when I fell and got a scrape, like, throw dirt in it and we'll clean it when we get home. But if I tried eating dirt when I was a kid, like, I was doing weird shit as a kid, trying different things, and I don't get sick very often, hardly ever. So
same. I don't really, I mean, I get sick. When I get sick hard.
Yeah, same.
And it's usually only like once, maybe twice a year.
Yeah, same.
But I mean, I grew up also out in, not necessarily the country, but we had a little farm. We had chickens, we had turkeys, we had dogs, cats. I've grown up around animals constantly. Like, I also grew up in an era where there was water fountains everywhere.
Yeah. That
you would drink out of next to somebody you didn't even know.
Right.
You know, I don't know how well they have water fountains now in schools. But like, going and hitting that metal button and bending down and drinking from a trough of disease.
Yeah.
That was my life. That's what we did.
Dude, there was one water fountain at my high school that the nozzle of it was like crusted over with like the stuff in the water. But that one had the coldest, best tasting water out of the whole school. And
so everybody went there to that one.
Yeah, like that. Like, we would line up out next to it. Like, okay, you've had enough. It's my turn. Get out of the way. And slurping that water up.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I would choose Cheeto fingers.
I would too.
Chip dust fingers. I don't think I'd like snot coming out of my mouth, my nose all the time and into my mouth.
Here's the deal. I'll just wear gloves. Like, I'll wear like leather gloves or
well, what happens if you wear the gloves and, like, say you wear the gloves because you don't want the Cheeto dust touching everything, or the chip dust, and it starts to form over the glove too. Like, how does that work? Or does it get thick enough? Like, does it just keep growing? Like, I know this is hypothetical, but like, we have to think about those things. Like, does it just keep like layering up, and then pretty soon you just have like pads, fucking dust Dorito pads?
That's how I'm picturing it. So I'm picturing it's just constantly regenerating. So like, I would have to like have intervals where I But that's cool then, because then I have like a little tasty
snack
treat.
all the time.
Yeah, well.
This is gonna sound really gross, but like one of my favorite things after eating a chip that's got a lot of dust is seeing the accumulation on your fingers, and I'll like scrape it on my teeth, and you can see the little like tracks in the dust. I'm glad that you agree.
I know exactly what you're saying.
I've always felt like an outcast for that.
No, I like this.
People think it's weird.
I'll do it with chips, sour Skittles. When I come out, my fingers are all covered in the sour dust. Yeah, that's the shit right there. Yeah. So I would do the Cheeto dust.
Cheeto dust, or chip dust. I would agree with that.
Yeah, especially if I could pick what flavor. Like it might be a one-time choice, but if I could decide, it would be the Cool Ranch Dorito dust, and I would just have just all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so fingers for both of us then. Yeah. Cool. All right. So this one is. It says, I don't know if this is the hardest one to pick from, but I've always thought that choosing between fist-sized nostrils or nostril-sized fists.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
Like, could you imagine having fists the size of your nose, your nostrils?
No, I'm going with nostril-sized fists.
It's like, hi.
That's bigger.
It is bigger.
It's way bigger.
That's not even the same size.
You can't even hold a pencil with nostril-sized fists.
But you have fist-sized nostrils? Imagine all the smell you get. Like,
you're the best detective.
Imagine. But if you're not good with smells, like say meat, I'm big on good smells. But think about how sensitive you become with nostrils the size of fist to smells, to the point to where like it's just annoying to wake up in the morning because the first thing you smell is so strong because your nostrils are so big and it allows so much in.
I would turn that to my advantage, and I would get like a what are those things called that like blow out air, like blow out scented air, not like a Glade freshener.
Oh, like I know what you're talking about. Diffuser. Yeah. I
would get a diffuser, and I'd get one that I could like set on a timer, and I would have that be my alarm, because I have a feeling it would wake me up more than an actual alarm would. So I would pick it to a scent that I liked, or at least tolerated, but that was jarring enough to wake me up, and I'd have it spritz at time to wake up.
What scent would you choose?
It would either be something citrusy or like lavender.
See, I would do, if it's something that was waking me up, I would do something like toast.
Okay.
Or like breakfast, like bacon.
Okay. Yeah.
Or like a scrambled egg.
Yeah.
Because but then we have to think like this is something we have to live with. Giant fucking nostrils. And I'm I get bored of things easily. I like to have variety.
Yeah.
So I'd be changing it up constantly. I'd have to change up the smell constantly because I think I would get sick of smelling the same smell every morning waking me up. Like I get sick of the same alarm waking me up, or I don't really use alarms to wake me up, but I have the same alarm and I get sick of hearing that constantly. But every day, 9 a.m., 9 p.m., take your medicine, and I have an alarm go off because I'll fucking forget. I just won't do it. But I hate hearing that alarm.
Yeah.
Especially now because every time my alarm goes off, my family is literally like, take your pills. You got to go take your pills. Like, I'm fucking old. I don't want to take pills, but don't remind me, please.
Please shut up. Yeah. I just don't think I could handle living with hands that small.
I mean, I know, because we already have big hands.
Couldn't game, couldn't lift, couldn't drive.
I mean, you could drive. I'm sure you could drive.
I mean, yeah, but it would be really hard because, like, we're talking about the size of the pad of my pinky as my whole hand. Could never.
I can give my thumb up mine. I can do the thumb.
Yourself.
That's true.
It'd be really hard.
I mean, there are toys. You just get a toy.
But can you imagine holding? It would feel like holding a fucking tank cannon.
I mean, they're suction cups. You just fucking suction it to the wall.
Fair. But I couldn't, unless I got toothpicks, probably couldn't play the drums. I definitely couldn't play guitar.
Oh shit.
I wouldn't be able to do anything.
I mean, I think that we wouldn't, it's not necessarily we wouldn't be able to do anything. I think it would take a lot of time to adapt. But if you grew up with nostril size hands, then it's just something you have to overcome. It's not something that's going to end your existence.
But now there was fist-sized nostrils, and I think
no, it would be really hard because now, like, we had to go to the dump yesterday. Oh yeah. If I had to smell more of that, I was gagging just standing there emptying our truck out. Like, I was just we didn't have garbage like that smelled, but just being there, smelling it as I'm sitting there unloading the truck, like, I was gagging. If I had to smell it more extremely, I don't know about that. I don't know if I could do that.
So are you saying hands?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
I just don't think I could live with it. I mean, so either way, you're getting bullied. Either way, you're not probably getting a date unless you find someone blind, or just not caring much about their own satisfaction. Either way, it's you're weird and it's miserable. But I feel like even if, like, okay, I'm at a bar and somebody says some shit, and so then I gotta, like, get up in their face, they're gonna take one look at my hands clenched, like ready to fight, and they're gonna be like,
they're gonna laugh and they're gonna walk away. They're gonna be like, this guy's handicapped, I'm not gonna beat him up.
Yeah, right. They're gonna be like, oh, this poor guy. But, like, if I have big nostrils and I just flare them and I, like, hawk up, like, I, like, snot rocket in their face, that's like shooting it's like a water balloon in their face of mucus, and then pow, regular fist size punch to the face.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you wouldn't even have to, like, snot rocket them. Imagine snot rockets. He, like, propels you back from the force of how much is coming out.
Oh my god, you could use it as a jetpack almost.
What if you get a bloody nose? Do you die pretty instantly because of how much could come out in one go? Right? Why would you? No, but we don't. I mean, you get bloody noses, but think about how big a bloody nose would be. You fucking use a whole fucking toilet paper roll to stuff up there to stop it from bleeding.
Oh my word.
You could fucking create, you know how whales create rings of air when they're trying to fish? They'll create rings of air to push the fish upwards and into a certain area. Mm-hmm. You could do that with your nose and you're underwater, just like, and just blow out and fucking create a nose bubble.
So what if you're underwater and you accidentally inhale through your nose? Do you just drown instantly?
Because that's a lot of water.
Yeah.
That's a big opening to take in a lot of water.
But if you're swimming and you don't have big enough hands to propel yourself,
you could jet propulsion yourself. Just sneeze once and you're fucking.
The big nostrils, yeah. But if you have little baby hands, you're not gonna get anywhere. You're gonna be dog paddling, and you're gonna have to rely solely on your feet. Ooh, hit that.
Well, I mean, I use. Yeah, that's true. Because when I swim, I use my arms a lot more than I use my feet.
Right. Because it keeps you up.
Well, I mean, I don't think I could not be in water. Because I'm a Pisces. I love being in the water.
I could go the rest of my life without water.
Not me. I fucking love the water.
Not drinking water, but swimming, I can go the rest of my life. I'd be fine.
Right. Well, you wouldn't make it far not drinking water.
No, I wouldn't.
You need water to survive.
Bro, I think you could break someone's nose if you sneeze in their face with giant nostrils from just the force.
Imagine the size of a mask you would need if we had to do something like we had to do with the pandemic.
I feel like a regular mask would work. It would just be like.
You think so?
I'm imagining if they're that big, my nose droops below my mouth. It's so much loose skin.
Regular masks on me now already don't work because I have such a big beard. Like I sent you a picture the other day of my mask and it's like beard's all flinging out and stuff because it's so pushed against my face.
When I have to wear one at work, I have to like take it and push it onto my chin to push the hair up so that it'll get a good seal. I also, you know what though, is if you had those big nostrils, you could adorn it with jewelry to kind of like make it look a little better.
Fucking hang, make little miniature wind chimes and you hang it up, and every time you breathe, it's like ding, 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 ding.
The people would look at us as like some sort of seer, some sort of oracle. I smell your future.
That's funny. Like,
I'm going nostrils.
Fuck, I still think I'm not. I still think I'm gonna do hands.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Smells are fucking hard for me.
Yeah,
they're hard for me, and I think that would make the smells that much stronger.
You could probably get prosthetic hands too.
Oh yeah, of course.
That have little cables that your tiny baby fingers are attached to.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a thought. I didn't even think about that till you brought it up. Yeah. I just didn't include that into the equation.
Yeah.
I just figured like we're stuck with small fingers.
Yeah. But no, there's things you could do for sure. I mean, before you could afford those, you could get the little, hand
clamps.
Yeah, the little things that have like the hands on the end of them to like. So that would be a way.
Yeah.
You know, you could just get them short. You know, just
like see, it's the hard thing to like grasp. Like when I think of nostril-sized hands, I think of a hand with a giant nostril, like just a hole in it. Not just the size of a hand.
Yeah, right.
Like this is small.
Yeah.
Right. And for those of you who's just listening, I'm just holding up one of those little miniature hands.
Yeah.
Like little rubber hands. But like that's like the palm of this.
Right.
Is the size of my hand.
Those are baby hands.
Without even the fingers extended onto it. Yeah. Like that's a small ass hand.
It's smaller than an actual baby's hand.
Yeah. But then you could just put something on, like a glove that goes up to your wrist.
Yeah.
It probably tapers down.
Yeah.
And you could have like a hand, like a prosthetic hand.
Right.
You can still do things with, like people do things with prosthetic hands all day long.
Yeah, and they don't even have little baby fingers to control the prosthetic hands, just based on the muscles in the arm. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with my first choice. I'm not gonna do big nostrils. I couldn't do it.
I'm staying nostrils because
that's intense.
Yeah, I would decorate the shit out of them. I'd get big ass tattoos and I would put hella rings and like bangles.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I couldn't do it. I'm more power to you, man.
Okay. I'm a nose picker privately and publicly, so I could really just make sure that shit was clean.
I mean, you literally could just turn on your fucking phone camera and just look up into it, be like, oh no,
yeah. Oh, there's one.
Yeah, I'm good. Imagine the hair,
bro. Yeah. It could dread it.
You got fucking a beard.
Yeah.
Coming out of your nostrils.
People would think I just had a really bushy mustache, but it's just my nostril hair.
All right. Let's see. Let's get on to the next one. I think we do one more.
Yeah.
And we'll change it up. This one we'll do this one. It's not too crazy. This is more like animals.
Okay.
Would you rather be an animal in the wild or an animal in captivity? And which animal would you be? Because I mean, I think there's a difference in certain animals in the wild and certain animals in captivity. I think certain animals in captivity might prosper and thrive longer because they don't have that threat of predators.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also predators that would thrive better out in the wild because they can kill things that they needed and wanted.
Right. Now, are we considering like pets?
I mean, sure. I mean, Oliver and Company. You ever seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's an old one of my most favorite Disney movies. About this cat.
Oh, yeah.
He like, it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Is it the one with the evil? Oh no, it's not. I was like, is it the one?
Dobermans?
No, the evil little girl.
No, it's the ones that with Doberman pinchers that are like the bad guy in the movie towards these animals.
I think I have seen it, but I was young.
It's been a long time. Yeah. It's been a really long time since I've even seen it. But still, like, yeah, we could consider pets because I mean, cats live out in the wild all the time. Dogs live out in the wild all the time.
Right. So, okay. All right. This is tough because I love lions and ravens. So if I was going to be an animal in the wild, it would be one of those two, but probably a lion because being the leader of a pride and just laying around in the sun all day and then just like hunting and like being just dope would be sick. And the freedom would be great. But I also think about what it would be like to be like one of those like sheepdogs on farms for a family with some kids and just have all the love.
Right.
Because then like you still are living a life filled with love. Now, in this scenario, are we animals with like, are we sentient enough to be aware that we chose this situation? Or do we have this like the know-all of an actual animal? Like we are just.
Well, I would say more so like, okay, so if I were to be a wild animal, I would want to be an animal in the sea.
Okay.
I would want to be probably a humpback whale. That's my favorite whale, the humpback whale. Or like a stingray, something like that. Something that like maybe something that migrated, like a migrating sea animal.
Okay.
Which whales migrate. Yeah. They go from different oceans to different depending on weather and whatnot, seasons. Mainly that I choose that too because the chances of being a giant humpback whale and facing too many predators is very slim. Mm-hmm. And the vastness of our oceans would allow for me to be wherever I wanted to be with very, very small amount of predatorial actions against me because I'm a big being. Mm-hmm. There are like, yes, I'm sure that are quite a few dangers to humpback whales, but being eaten by
a shark,
anything is very little.
Right. Especially
if you're in a pod with other humpback whales, you have that greatness in numbers.
Yeah, and you're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing you have to worry about is poachers. You have to worry about getting caught up in human debris. There's just so much that you have to worry about. You okay?
Yeah. My lip is bleeding.
It's probably because you don't have big nostrils.
No, yeah.
But if I were to be in the wild, if I were to be an animal in captivity, I'd want to be like a kangaroo or something like, I don't know. Kangaroos are jacked.
Yeah, they are.
I think kangaroo would be fun to be. You can just hop around and rest on your tail.
I have the zoo.
Just relax. Yeah.
All right.
People come and look at you all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a zoo animal.
No, I wouldn't want to be, but if I had to be, if that was like the option, I would pick something like that. Something that because people love kangaroos.
That's true.
You always get attention.
Yeah. If I were to have to pick captivity, I would want the captivity to be being a domesticated animal, and I live at a house or on like a ranch, and I would like to be a sheepdog, because then like I have a purpose. I'm like having something that instinctually I want to do all day, which is herding animals. Not hurting, herding.
Herding.
Yeah, herding.
That's what my dog
animals.
does.
And then also be able to then go inside at the end of the night and sit by the fireplace while my owners and their kids like have dinner and watch TV. And then I get to like get the love and then go out the next morning and work some more.
Go and get the cheese tacks.
Yeah.
Sit in the kitchen when somebody's making food and they give you a piece of cheese or a piece of meat.
I think my personality, I would want to be like a big, fluffy, lovable dog.
Yeah.
With like a nice family.
If I was going to be a dog, I would want to be one of those wolfhounds. Mm-hmm. Those big fucking big gray fucking shaggy looking wolfhounds. Like, I think that would be cool. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out the one I want. I can't remember if it's like a Maltese or if it's it's not a Maltese. I put out a fucking Maltese.
Like, no, those are small dogs, aren't they?
Small and white, yep. Oh, Great Pyrenees.
Pyrenees dogs.
That's what
those are. Those are big dogs.
That's what I'd want to be.
There's a couple of those that live down the road from us that every time I drive by there's like 3 or 4 of them out in this big field, and there's goats and sheep and shit out there, and they're always just kind of laying, like one will be up on the hill, one will be down below, another one off to the side, and the animals will just be roaming around, and they'll just be sitting there looking around like guard dogs.
Yep.
My buddy's come and fuck with my herd.
Right, and I would love that. My buddy's got a Pyrenees mix. She's not as big, but she is the sweetest dog I've ever fucking met. Like, I want her. And she's huge, but she's like hollow boned.
Oh yeah.
She's like
I've owned big dogs, I've owned little dogs. I think the biggest dog we owned was a purebred German Shepherd. And he was amazing. His name was Loki, and he protected our family like nobody's business. Like from the day one that I got him, I rescued him from somebody. They couldn't take him anymore, and so we drove out there, and I put him into the car, and then I got into the car, and he was completely fine with that. But as soon as my friend that came with us tried to get in the car, would not let him in the car. He would not let him in the car. He growled the whole time. He ended up we had to call somebody out to come pick him up because he wouldn't let him into the car.
Wow.
And he was like that for the rest of his life with us. He protected, like he bit my dad, my real dad I didn't live with, but he came over to visit one day, and he thought he could just walk in the back gate, and he tried to bite him. He fucking snipped at him hard, scared the shit out of him.
Yeah, I bet.
But I've also had little dogs. We have little dogs now, and little dogs are great because they're just as passionate about you as a big dog is, if not more, because you're their protection.
Right.
Being little dogs, you're there for them too, and they're more companionate, I would say, than big dogs. Big dogs are companionate, but I think little dogs, they cling to you.
Yeah.
Like our little dog loves Tara way more than she loves me. But she gets just as excited to see me when I come in through the doors as she does when Tara comes home. Mm-hmm. But I like big dogs that like to be lap dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too.
If I get a big dog, like our dog Missile, he's a husky, and he thinks he's a lap dog when he wants to be annoying. But when you want him to be a lap dog to cuddle and just like sit and pet and let him lay on you and you just pet him, that's not him. He can't do that. He just can't. He just doesn't allow his brain doesn't allow him to just relax and get pet. And so I like a lap dog. because I like something that can just cuddle up with me and just like let me pet them and just enjoy time together.
Yeah.
So I think if I was a dog, I would be a wolfhound dog, just because I think those could be pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I think I would pick the domesticated side of captive.
Of the captivity. Yeah. I think so too. Because I mean,
beds.
but you have to make sure you got the right family, because not everybody gets dogs for the right reasons.
I would just bite my owners if they were mean.
But then you have the scenario of not having a loving family, and then you're just trapped. You don't get the love that you were wanting.
True.
So that's something that, being a domesticated animal, it has to be the right situation, because if you bit your owners, they're either gonna A, kill you, or B, they're gonna set you off into the wild, and now you're a wild animal.
That would be okay. So in that scenario, perfect. Best outcome. I mean, maybe not the best outcome, but better than that. The first scenario of them then just hurting me back or killing me is, it's better to die on your feet than to live on your knees.
Yeah.
Shoot me, bitch. Because I'm just going to keep coming. I'll get your throat one day.
Yeah, that's just I don't know, man. At that point in time, I'd rather just be living in a zoo, getting fed every day and taken care of and looked at.
True. I mean, I see it.
Okay, so if you were in, say this is the scenario, you had to live in the zoo, would you be a predatory animal or would you be a non-predatory animal?
If I had to live in the zoo, I'd be a gorilla.
Well, they're not necessarily predatorial.
No.
They're territorial.
Yeah, I would want to be a gorilla, though. If I had to be a zoo animal, I'd be a gorilla, because at least there's other gorillas with me, and they're funny, and I could just be funny.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be predatorial, just because of the fact that, like, every time you got fed, it's just it's just dropped in front of you and you just eat it.
Yeah, you're not able to satisfy that instinct.
Yeah, yeah. And if you do, it's going to be towards one of the humans that brings in that food, and then you're going to get killed, or you're going to get taken out.
Yeah. So I would.
It's almost like having that itch to do something constantly and never being able to scratch it.
Yeah, right. Which is why I wouldn't want to be a zoo animal, but I would probably be an herbivore.
Yeah,
something where it's like, whatever, like, just give me my bananas or my coconuts or my watermelons and I'm chilling.
Yeah.
And then they do that.
Do so with your lips.
The other day, my wife, we were chilling. She was doing some crab making on the floor, and I got on the floor and I put my hands in a fist and I started walking my arms like this. I went, I'm a gorilla. And I went and started like playing, like pushing her face, and she's like, stop it.
Yeah, stop making me laugh. Oh, that shit's funny. Oh man. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, I would, if I was in this captivity, I'd rather be a kangaroo. If I wasn't, I'd rather be a wolfhound.
Yeah. I think if we're choosing between being in captivity and being in the wild, have we set the parameters that I could be a domesticated ant, like a pet?
Yeah. I mean, I think that would be domesticated. That would be in like captivity.
I would do that then. I'd take my chances with the families, and I would do that. I mean, being in the wild would be cool, but it's constant survival mode.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes, no. So, like, would you consider? I guess yes, you would, because it's something I take care of. But like our cat, Clammy Jenkins, he just showed up out of nowhere. We don't let him inside because he's not fixed,
right? And
I don't need him spraying all over my house. But he doesn't have to hunt for food anymore. He probably did before he came to us.
Right.
But he gets the free reign. He gets to go do what he wants. If he wants to leave and go up into the forest, he can.
Right.
If he wants to walk down the street, he can. He just knows where his bed and where food is.
Yeah,
He hasn't left. He has not left. He's been here every day consistently since we took him in months and months and months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at that point in time, are you wild or are you domesticated?
Yeah, well, I mean, ancient Egyptians, considered, they viewed their cats as gods, or as an aspect of their god. And so that's why, like, they were pro domestication of cats, because they would just come and choose their homes. I would still consider it kind of wild, because I'm not, yeah, like these humans are feeding me, but I can go anywhere else. And also being able to be outside still allows me to fulfill that instinct that I have of hunting. If I get the urge to, I don't.
Yeah, well, in spring's coming, he'll be able to hunt plenty of things. There's birds everywhere now.
Right. But then I would know in the times where my prey was hibernating or harder to catch, or there was more threats out, I know I can go back to this human's house, and then there's some food and a place for me to sleep.
Yeah.
And
true.
pets, if I allow it.
True. Yeah, well, good thing we're not animals. Yeah. I mean, not like that anyways.
Yeah.
You guys can go watch us on YouTube and check out those stupid faces we just made, because you can't see them on Spotify. All right, well, that was our Would You Rather segment.
Yeah,
we'll be having probably more of those throughout our podcast. They're a lot more fun. They're a lot more entertaining to talk about. Yeah, like, it makes you think a little bit more.
Right. I like it. I think it's fun.
Yeah. No. Well, you wanted to talk about video games today, right?
I have something I'd like to discuss, because it's something that I've been being inundated with on my Reddit feed, and even at work on my computer. We use stupid Microsoft Internet Explorer or whatever, and it gives you like a news feed, and mine is filled with video game stuff. And the Obsidian released the game Avowed recently. It's a game set in the world of their Pillars of Eternity franchise, which I'm a huge fan of. And if anybody out there is into CRPGs, you probably know what I'm talking about, because it was one of the games released with the new wave of CRPGs that came out, like Divinity Original Sin, Planescape, Tides of Numenera, whatever. Big nerd shit.
This game has consumed his life.
It's consumed my life
since it came out.
Yes, I love it. I love the world building, but Obsidian is very good at that. They released Fallout New Vegas was theirs. Now, yes, they were contracted by Bethesda to make it, but they made it, and that one's considered pretty widely to be the best Fallout game that there is. They made Outer Worlds. They made Grounded. They just have a knack of their game making, and their world design is fantastic and intuitive. And every game they've released has been relatively successful.
Yeah.
Avowed released not too long ago, and it was attacked like crazy. People, large like YouTube reviewers, and people like IGN and Games Radar and Metacritic, like there are so many negative reviews on this game. Now, some of the things are very valid. I love the game, but I would not consider it my top 10 best games of all time. It's very fun. It's very satisfying for what it is. It's great. It's the world is big enough to feel exciting, but small enough as to not feel overwhelming and like dragged on. The story is good. The writing is good. The combat's fantastic. Exploration is top notch. There are so many good things about this game that just make it an objectively fun game. And the biggest thing about it is it doesn't feel like a chore to manage things, but it's been reviewed to shit.
Right.
Which has made people think that it's horrible. And so what I wanted to talk about is the state of video game review culture in the large scale industry. Because while there's enough people singing Avowed's praises that it's not going to be a commercial failure, there are many developers who have had to basically shut down because of their commercial failures. Like their games have not been a success, and so they have not been able to continue work on it, even if the games are objectively good. I went to Metacritic and wrote, I've never written a review before. I wrote one for Avowed because it was like, there's no reason this game is getting as much hate from an objective standpoint. I can understand people don't have to like everything, but people have gotten to the point where if they don't like something, they have to bash it. They have to go online and spew their vitriol, and they end up infecting more people than they're helping. And they're taking, right. I almost think that people are allowing these reviews online to get in the way of them finding fun and having a good time. It doesn't have to be the best game ever. Lethal Company is a perfect example of a game that if you looked at it and based it purely on aesthetic and stuff, people would probably have not played it, but it has grasped enough people to become a success because it's objectively fun. The gameplay loop is strong. It's strong.
Yeah. There's a desire to get better,
right?
To get more stuff,
right?
To go gather more things and take higher risks.
Yeah, exactly. And then learning the behavior of the enemy AI and figuring out how to avoid certain threats, and then knowing that when you mess up, it was your fault.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Yeah,
unless you get abandoned like I did by Logan.
Just.
Sorry, Jake. We love you.
Just hit that button. Yep. Bye. Can't stay any longer. You're gonna die.
There's another thing to be said that of the woke culture that people will tear games apart for. Dragon Age: The Veilguard was released, and it was very, very woke, along with the new Saints Row reboot, which I heard objectively is a shit game. But Dragon Age: The Veilguard, I heard mixed reviews on because the gameplay was fantastic. But people can't get past the woke shit. I don't care about it. It doesn't bother me if it's there or not. In Avowed, there's an option to have pronouns, but you have the option to turn those off if you don't want to deal with that. But
yeah.
People
that doesn't change a gameplay for me.
It doesn't. But there was one reviewer who saw that and wrote his whole review based on that one small tidbit.
Yeah, that's like being able to change the gore difficulty in Project Zomboid. You can have blood, you can have non-blood, or in Lethal Company, you can turn off arachnids because if you're afraid of spiders, there's spiders in that game. You can turn off spiders.
Right.
It looks stupid.
It's just the word
but
spider.
That's not gonna. It's not gonna change the way that I play. It's not gonna change the fact that I'm playing it.
Right. It's still an objectively decent game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my whole thing is it's starting to irritate me because there are so many like reviewers that they'll play a game and they'll have all of these gripes and then they'll release them like they're saying, oh, Avowed is nothing like Skyrim. Avowed's not trying to be like Skyrim. Sure.
No.
Here's the two biggest similarities between Avowed and Skyrim. It's a fantasy world where you're playing as some sort of chosen one. That's the first one. The second one is you can do first or third person.
That's nice.
And that's cool.
That's a good option to have in games.
That is a fantastic option. But because they included it, people are saying it's trying to be Skyrim and it's not living up to the expectation. But it's not. The only reason they're making that distinction is because Obsidian made New Vegas, which was a Bethesda sanctioned game. And Bethesda made Skyrim. So they're saying, oh, Obsidian's trying to be the new Bethesda. No, none of that's happening. This is its own game. It's a very arcadey RPG. You have unlimited stamina. You can respec at any point for whatever.
I love unlimited stamina because I like to do everything fast when I play my games.
Yeah.
And not having to worry about stamina, like... We're not in real life.
Right.
I'm not playing the game because I want to fucking do a walking simulator and keep my health up.
Exactly.
I want to be able to run everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in a power fantasy.
That doesn't change the realism for me.
If I'm a high-powered fantasy character, I should be able to run as long as I want for whatever distance I want.
Right.
The other thing I saw regarding this, and this is maybe a little more divisive, but Paradox Interactive is a grand strategy developer. They made Hearts of Iron, Crusader Kings 3, Stellaris, a lot of games like Civ-like games, but not Civ. they released the DLC for, I believe, Hearts of Iron, which I haven't played myself. It looks a little too, the UI just looks a little too blocky and boring for me. But it was a Silk Road DLC. And it has come under fire by a large group of Chinese players for basically like depicting their country's borders and their influence by being able to exploit the trade system to take large swaths of Asia, primarily in India. Which the Paradox games are based in history, okay? You can try to play as close to historical accuracy as you choose to. Me personally, I go in there and I just fuck shit up. If I have to marry my sisters and my grandparents and my this and that just to get what I need, I will inbreed my characters in these games as much as I have to. And I will do whatever exploits I can to win, because that's part of the fun of these kinds of games. So the historical accuracy is all up to player agency. And it's getting review bombed. All of their games right now are being review bombed. If you go on their Steam page, you'll see mostly negative, because there's a large group of people who are going after it. Now, I'm not saying that that's right or wrong based on their culture. That's whatever. Teach their own. If that's, I don't know enough about it to say that morally it's good or bad. I just think that it's crazy that a developer can spend so much time and resources for people and the company to make something for the player base, which is billions, and get completely torn down and demolished because of little things. Like little things. Rocksteady is shutting down Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, because of the absolute vitriol towards that game. Smite 2 just released, and they did not get the reception they wanted, and so they did not get the funds that they needed, so they laid off a bunch of teams in that development company. Like, there's just so many things. It's just like, it's so crazy. These people's lives are at stake, and people will just bash and bash and bash. And my least favorite thing is when they take stuff like comparisons to other games or woke shit that they just don't agree with. You can not agree with it, but you can ignore it. And if you don't like
I play games.
What?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you don't like it or the game, don't play it. You don't have to go on and get together like a hate mob and tear a whole company down and make a lot of other people who love the game not be able to play it anymore because it's not supported anymore.
I play games that are like other games that I play.
Right.
Let that sit in.
Right.
Like, I play games that are similar to other games that I play because I like the styles of games.
Right.
I don't judge games based on what anybody else thinks.
Right.
Like, you and I both play some different games that we don't really aren't really compatible with. Like, I tried playing Crusader Kings. It was fun, but there's just so much happening. It's like a super fast version of Civ to me. And it's a little too fast for me. You love that game.
Yeah.
I play Project Zomboid pretty consistently. You're not such a big fan of that game.
No, and I try.
You know, but that's the thing is, like, you play games because you like them. I don't play games because of what other people say.
Right.
Same thing with movies. There's plenty of movies that I don't like that people like, and I'm like, I just don't get it. Like, it's not my thing.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
You know, but that's the thing is, like, when you do reviews and you put reviews in on different things, you should make sure that you're not bashing a game because everybody else is bashing it.
Right.
You go through and give your honest review and say, I like this game because, I dislike this game because. That gives people like me a chance to go through and read it and be like, okay, I could understand that. I don't like those certain things that this game has a lot of features of, so I'm probably not going to play it. But it's not because of the game developers doing something bad. Right. Game developers are artists, just like musicians, just like painters, just like chefs. They're artists too. They have a vision that they want to put out there for other people to enjoy. Yeah. And not everybody enjoys the same type of genre. Right.
I mean, shit, you bounced off Baldur's Gate 3, which is one of the most commercially successful games in history.
Fucking hate that game. Yeah, I hate that game. And I love D&D.
Right.
I love the aspects of D&D. I can't stand that game. And maybe it's because of the fact of doing multiplayer. I had to start over so many times trying to play a multiplayer game with my friends and doing the same shit over again that I never got past certain levels. Like, I don't even think I got into the third stage of that game.
Yeah, to be fair, I think if you and I played it, we would probably it would be a different experience, because I would be willing to like take the time and like explore shit and have fun.
Probably, but that was just the thing. It's like starting that game over with different people. You couldn't ever just restart it. You had to start all the way over from the beginning if you wanted to add somebody new into the game.
Right. If they wanted their own character.
It was just different for me. Like, I would probably replay it, but I mean, it's so old now in game life,
dude. It's long, and it's a time commitment. I mean,
well, you know me, I don't like repetitiveness.
Right.
I don't like repeating myself. I don't like doing things repetitively. Like, that's why I fucking cannot stand Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
I cannot stand Call of Duty games for that reason. It's so repetitive. It's the same fucking grind every single game. Yeah. And it's like, I don't care. Like, we play Battlefield. It's a little bit different, but even then, I tell you, like, okay, we got to play something different. I can't do this anymore. I'm just getting bored now.
Right.
You know, there's aspects of it that are fun, but when I'm constantly doing the same thing, or I feel like we're getting our ass kicked constantly, I don't like to lose. I want to have fun and play and win.
Right.
And if I'm losing a game, I don't want to fucking play it.
Right. That's why I play mostly like RPGs. Things that, like, if I'm losing, it's not like it's because, like,
you're not losing.
Right. If I just
you're losing, but you're not losing.
Right. I can just try again and do a different approach. Like, I died last night in Avowed. I had to turn it off because I was annoyed and I didn't want to do. It was a boss fight and it was a slog. I'll try it again today in a different manner.
Yeah.
And it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking fun.
Yeah. 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 No, I don't play games based on other people's reviews. I use those reviews to kind of give me an idea on if I'm gonna like it. But I mean, there's lots of games that I've bought that don't have the greatest reviews, but I fucking love it.
Yeah, well,
like,
right.
Or a lot of games that people don't even know about, like RimWorld.
Right.
Like, we played RimWorld nonstop for months. Because it's fun. It's only single player. It's only single player. Like, we couldn't even play with each other.
Right.
We would just get on Discord and play our own single player games and stream them for everybody to watch, so we could just see what everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. Isn't even a multiplayer game, and we still put in hours and months of playtime together.
Yeah.
On a single player game. How do you do that? We did it.
When Cyberpunk 2077 came out, so many people bashed that game for the state of it when it launched. There was a bunch of bugs. I played it from the day it came out, and I beat it, and I loved it. The whole time I played it, I liked it, even with all of its issues. Since it's been updated and made into a better game, I haven't touched it, but everybody now loves it.
I haven't played it. I haven't even played it once.
Yeah.
Haven't even touched it. It just doesn't look like my type of game. I mean, kind of, but RPGs to me are group games. They're like group
I get that.
based games for me. Like, I like RPGs with other people because their choices help make my choices.
Right, you're playing up. Yeah, and I get that. I when I first built my computer, I played alone so much, but I was so excited because I had this, I went from having just the PlayStation store to now having the Steam store and having all of these other games, these top-down point and click like RPGs like Pillars of Eternity or Tyranny or Divinity and
Kenshin.
Yeah. What?
Didn't you play that Kenshi game or Kenshin or whatever?
Kenshi. Yeah, Kenshi.
Yeah, you love that game.
Kenshi is fire, but that one is more like Zomboid in the fact that you do things to, like, you train your skills by doing them, and there's no like path. Like, there's no critical path. You're just doing what you want. But like, you could go and be a bounty hunter or a serial killer or a chef and just do what you want to do, and the world reacts to it, and that's super fun. But that game is not a critical success. It's a very cult classic game, and the people who like it love it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, it doesn't have great graphics.
It's got horrible graphics.
It is not graphically pleasing.
No, it's not, and it's
but
brown.
it's the gameplay. It's the gameplay of it that draws people in. Like, there's lots of games that I play that are not graphically pleasing, but it's the gameplay that keeps me coming back.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like Darkest Dungeons. That game's fun. It's not the greatest looking game. It's not the action adventure type game that you're thinking of, but it's fun. Yeah. The gameplay makes it fun. It makes it playable.
Loop. Yeah, and you know what? The second Darkest Dungeon was lambasted with bad reviews.
I still bought it.
It's still fun. I bought it. In fact, I had both of them. I bought the second one because I liked the art direction, and it got me into the first one. So I'm like, okay, This is cool, but I want like you'll notice with that one, after every run, your characters, you can upgrade them like along the way, but if you change their names at the beginning of a run, their names reset to their original names. Whereas in the first one, you're collecting a bunch of them. So you might have 3 highwaymen and they're all different people with different perks. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that makes sense.
That's cool. Well, we still have that Door Kickers game to play.
I know, I want to try that. And I actually saw it.
I got that and we haven't even played it once. And I was like, I really need to play this game.
Yeah. Not a TikTok because I haven't been able to log back into my original TikTok account. But I was on YouTube Shorts the other day and I saw a video of the other Door Kickers. I'm like, okay, that actually looks kind of fun. Watching it like that actually looks pretty cool.
The one that I said might be fun.
Yeah.
And Logan was like, nah, that'll probably be we'll play it for a week and then stop.
Yeah. Like I could see that happening, but I could come back to it.
I did buy that, but I returned it because it wasn't fun playing by myself.
Right.
And I wasn't about to play by myself. So I did return that one. But I mean, the Door Kickers one that we have now, it looks lots of fun, and I'm excited to play it because I really want to see how it is with multiplayer. I tried playing a little bit by myself, and it's fun by yourself, but it's going to be way more fun when you have other people playing with you.
Right. Yeah.
So, and that's a big aspect on games for me too.
Yeah.
Like there's lots of times where I enjoy just having my solidarity and just solitude playing games by myself.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy doing that. And there's plenty of times where we've done that, where we're playing totally different games together while chatting and bullshitting.
Right.
And just enjoying our own games.
Yeah.
But there's that camaraderie when you find a game that you can play together.
Yeah.
And you just fucking dominate it and you're just like, yes.
Yeah.
This is the game for us.
I think Sea of Thieves was the first game that we like really bit into as a group.
And that game was fun, but it got boring after a minute for it, just the repetitive going, especially when we started playing other people.
Right.
Like, and then they were just being tool bags. Like I'm a very, I don't know how to explain it, generous player when it comes to other people. I'm not out to kill people just to kill people.
Yeah. But hey,
like we're playing in Zomboid right now on this RP server, right? And we found 2 people. Me and Logan did, and we were just like, well, let's just help them. We'll make some money. We'll give them some tools so they can make money. And now we kind of all 4 have found a house together off into the like countryside where nobody's really, we're worried about anybody. We're kind of building stuff up. I haven't played for like 4 or 5 days now, but it's a camaraderie that was made with 2 random strangers instead of just killing them automatically,
right,
or being aggressive. We're building a team now.
Yeah. And
building a team in games for me is more fun than just aggressively killing people for the shit of it.
Yeah, like we did fuck on some people once and got a bunch of like they had a bunch of loot. I remember because I got shot out of the cannon and I threw fire bottles as I was flying through the air.
Yeah.
And that was fun as shit. But yeah, like I try to keep the peace if I'm playing a multiplayer game and run across other people because I'm just trying to have a good time and I want to build something up. And if I fuck on someone else, probably gonna fuck on me next.
Yeah. Yeah. I probably wouldn't mind trying Sea of Thieves again.
I wouldn't either. I think it'd be fun.
And I think Logan has it too, so it'd be fun. We have 3s go out and take over the vast seas, and it was a pretty fun game. It's just, I think maybe the people we were playing with wasn't always that great.
Yeah. Right.
So
felt like a chore.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't like doing chores, so I definitely don't like playing a chore.
Right. I just want to play for fun. And then if there's somebody who's like, no, you got to do it this way, I'm like, dude, let me learn.
Yeah. 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 Or min-maxers really they fucking irk me so hard.
Well, because
I'm not a min-maxer. No. When I play any type of like, even like D&D, I play my character to how I built my character in my head.
Right.
If my character's dumb, my character's gonna do dumb shit.
Yeah.
I don't care if there's consequences to it. That's what makes the story fun.
Right. Yeah.
My character's gonna be an idiot. If he's a fucking idiot, he's an idiot in the game. He's gonna make stupid decisions. He's gonna accidentally get somebody hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I played I knocked you out in a game just because we did something stupid, just for the fun of it.
You wanted to see what would happen, and you fucking hit me in the next week.
Yeah.
Knocked me out, like took me down below my HP. Like, yeah, that was funny. It was fucking funny. That was a story.
Right.
And it wasn't just because it's not like, oh, well, I want to be the best at this, and this, and I have to do it this way only.
Right.
No, fucking live through your character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I just think it's interesting. Well, so I hope that this whole cultural thing kind of sizzles out and people just let people enjoy the games they want to enjoy. Because there's also a bunch of people online who will be like, you're an idiot for liking it.
Yeah, it's not going to.
No, it's not.
It's just the problem is that people just need to not worry about what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
And just like the games that you like.
Right. Yeah.
On those games that people are writing shitty reviews, write a good review.
Right.
Tell them why you think that these other people shouldn't be spouting off at the mouth. Mm-hmm. You know, these people think all the same stuff. Look at the commonality of why everybody hates this game, and then point out the uncommon reasons why you should like it.
Right. Yeah. Because you could find something just good in almost every game, and if you like it, that's okay. I'm curious to know what the listeners' games that were reviewed badly were ones that they liked themselves personally. So if you guys have anything, put them in the comments. Yeah,
let us know. Let us know what type of games that you like. Let us know why you like them. And you know, if it's an unpopular decision of a game, you know, fucking power to you, man. Yeah. You like something that other people don't like. And it's your originality.
Yeah.
If you like certain games that other people don't like, yeah, more power to you. That's great. That means that you have opportunities to play those games, and not everybody else can be playing them. And when you're playing them and for whatever reason they get popular, you'd be like, I've been playing this game since day one, bitches.
Yeah, for real.
Where have you been? Like, ever since I started playing Project Zomboid, it's been blowing up. People have been playing the shit out of it. Like, I see it constantly now on YouTube. I see people playing it on TikTok, everybody.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't even know what game it is. Like, I've asked lots of my friends if they've ever played that game. They're like, what? Like Nate, we introduced it to Nate. He hasn't played it since like 2 weeks after he got it, but that's just him.
But I mean, Logan hooked right onto it. Christina hooked right onto it.
Yeah. I mean, you guys hooked right onto RimWorld, and I brought up RimWorld to you. Like, you guys hooked right onto that. When we all played Civ for that long time, like, we were playing that pretty consistently too. You know, I am excited to play Civ 7. I want to play it.
Yeah.
I just don't know anybody that has it right now, so I don't want to play it by myself.
Yeah, I don't have it yet, and I won't get it for a while, because the problem for me was
I'll probably wait.
It's so slow.
Exactly, and that's why I think you like Crusader Kings better, because it's so fast.
Yeah, I don't have to wait.
That game is rapid fire. It's so hard for me.
I see. I like because I'll just like I'll hit my space bar like 6 times in a minute, because I'm just like decision. But with Civ, it's like I make all my decisions, and then I have to sit, and then some people
wait for 3 other people to fucking take their time.
And there was one person we used to play with who took so fucking long. He always ran the timer up, and I'm like, there's no way you have that much to do. There's no way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's because he was examining every possible outcome before he could do it, and he wanted to make sure that it was perfect. Like, I don't play games like that. I just fucking make decisions. Yeah, it's done.
Right.
I'll be waiting just as long, and that was one of the things that did bother me. There's one thing I don't like about that game, is the fact that when you're playing with other people, you have to wait for them to take their turns.
Yeah. And if you're you're lagging behind in your production and like in your progress, then you have like one thing to click, if that.
Yeah. It's like my biggest pet peeve with D&D players.
Oh, and like combat.
When I play D&D, I'm ready to make a decision like I might have to change it last minute because of something that somebody else did, but I still have an idea of what I'm trying to do. And I'm not like, wait, what happened? Can you tell me what this person did? What happened to this person? Can I do this? Like, fucking drives me nuts. Just be ready to play your turn.
Right. Be paying attention.
Like it's a turn-based game. You should be ready to take your turn when it's your turn. You shouldn't have to ask all these questions or make any of these decisions. You should know an idea of what you're going to do.
Right. Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest, I think that's one of the biggest downfalls for Civ for me, is that people do that too. They wait till the last minute, or they're not paying attention. And then they're like, you're like, okay, we're waiting on you. And they're sitting there on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, fucking looking through shit and not paying attention to the game when everybody's waiting on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, let us know what type of games you guys like down in the comments. You can also send us an email at beardslyddpodcast@gmail.com. Also, let us know how you like this episode. Like I said, we're doing new. We don't really tend to like to change things up too much, but you know, for the sake of entertainment and for the sake of our sanity, we would like to do stuff that we like to do, because that's what we're doing it for, is for us. You get to enjoy it. And if you do, thank you. Let us know. If you don't, let us know as well. But you know, we're not getting paid for this, so if you're not contributing and helping support us, then I don't really care about your opinion.
Don't leave bad reviews. If you don't like it, just go away.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to tell everybody how bad we are for what we're doing because you don't like it.
Yeah, bitch.
Somebody else likes us.
Yeah, pussy.
Pussy. Remember, 2 in the stink, 1 in the pink.
2 in the stink.
I mean, depends on how adventurous.
Cheeto dust.
It's not Cheeto dust, friend.
Oh, right.
Oh man. All right, you guys can find us at any one of our social media services that is out there for you. It'll be down in the comments below, down in the description. Please share us with your friends, like us, come back and listen to us again. I don't know, whatever. Just make sure that you enjoy what you're doing, because that's what we're doing this for, is because we enjoy doing it. So thank you for listening to us this week. This is episode number 11, and yeah, double ones. 1 That's 4. Thanks for watching us, guys, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Have a great day. Bye.